Hey guys, hope you're well. This is the PaMu Nano. It's a compact pair of wireless earbuds that come in at just $49, and in this video we'll talk about the good, the bad, and come to an overall conclusion on whether or not it's worth your money. I should mention that I've already reviewed another PaMu product, the Quiet Mini. I will leave a link to that video in the description below. Those headphones come in at $79, but they also feature active noise cancelling, which the Nano does not. I should also mention that I was sent these headphones for free to review them, which is something that I really appreciate as a smaller YouTube channel. That being said, my views and opinions will be based purely on the merits of the product. Anyway, let's see what comes in the box. First and foremost, I commend the packaging. It's done well for such an affordable product. The first thing we see is of course the charging case and the headphones. We'll come back to this in just a moment. After pulling out the foam, you find a smaller box inside which you can find a protective bag for your headphones. I don't imagine many people would actually use this, but again, I give props to Padmate for thinking about the customer. Next in the box are the replacement earbuds. I made it look very difficult to access, but I think that's more on me. Then we have the USB-C charging cable, another set of earbuds, a guide for which earbuds to use, and I was impressed here to not only see they have included 6 different pairs of tips, but they also have a handy warning on this card suggesting you do not go over 70% listening volume to avoid hearing loss. And finally, the instruction manual. As you can see, I chose this metallic green version of the headphones, which I certainly think is the most interesting color option, and it suits the product. It looks stylish, and I think it's a really nice finish. On the front, you see what looks to be a speaker or microphone grill, but do not be fooled, this piece serves no purpose other than to show the battery indicator which shines through. I quite like how it looks. The case would look rather bland without it. The only annoying thing will be having to constantly explain to people that no, this is not a mini speaker. The build quality is quite okay. In fact, I think it feels a bit more well made and durable than their more expensive Quiet Mini. One issue I had with the Quiet Mini is that despite its naming, it's actually quite large, considerably bigger than the Galaxy Buds Pro, for example. And I had the same issue here. Now, the Nano is a fair bit smaller than the Mini, but I don't think it's worthy of the name Nano. It still has a larger footprint than the Galaxy Buds Pro or the original Buds. I think they just need to shift their naming convention one space. The Quiet Mini should just be called the Quiet, the Nano should be called the Mini, and if they do ever produce a Nano, it should be smaller than this. Just my opinion. The earbuds have an unusual shape, but you quickly learn how to put them in and how to set them back in the case. The largest tips were the best fit for me, and they sit comfortably in my ears. I have gone for a couple of runs and can confirm they stayed perfectly in my ears. In this regard, they are actually better than my Galaxy Buds Pro, which can sometimes get loose and feel like they're about to fall out. On top of that, the Nano features IPX6 water resistance rating, which means it should easily put up with rain or excessive sweating, making it perfect for use while working out. One thing I really like about these buds is that because they sit so flush in my ears, I can change clothes whilst having them in and they do not catch or snag on any of my clothing. This is a problem I've had with just about every earbud I've tried up until now, so they've done a really good job here. Something they haven't done such a good job with is customization. Now, PaMu has an app, and with the Quiet Mini, you can customize what tapping the earbuds do, but the Nano is not compatible with this app, and they have confirmed that there is no customization available, so the default setup is what you'll have to get used to. Luckily, it's all rather well done. A single press on either bud will play or pause your music, and you can double tap on the right earbud to fast forward. Unfortunately, you cannot triple tap to go backwards. If you're getting a call, you can also single press on either earbud to accept or double press to decline. Double tap on the left bud to bring up your voice assistant. And my favorite feature, long press on the right earbud to increase the volume and long press on the left earbud to decrease the volume. This is a really useful feature because it means you don't have to pull out your phone in order to change your volume level. And it's a feature that I find is hard to achieve with noise cancelling headphones because you often need that long press in order to enable or disable the active noise cancelling. So, how do they sound? Hey guys, it's Future Chris here to quickly talk to you guys about sound quality. Now, when I first recorded this part of the review, I was actually quite negative about how the PaMu Nano sounded. I found it too treble heavy and a bit sharp at louder volumes, and I found bass to be lacking, whilst just about every other review out there said that it was great. So I had to do some more testing, because either every single other reviewer out there had been paid off to say good things, which seems unlikely, or I was doing something wrong. What I discovered is that the tips I originally chose, that is the L Plus tips, whilst they provided the best fit for my ears, they had a significant negative impact on sound quality. Not sure why. Perhaps because it looks like with those tips, the distance between your ears and the speaker is greater. But whatever the reason is, as soon as I switched back to the regular L tips, I changed my mind. These earbuds sound pretty great. Now, I still believe bass is lacking just a touch on the Nano, but the bass that you do get is nice and clean. Cleaner, for example, than the bass that you get with the Quiet Mini. Now, this may be because the Nano supports both aptX and AAC, which are audio codecs that deliver high quality audio. So in theory, if you're listening to music with headphones that support these codecs, like the Nano, you should be getting more detail from your music than if you're using headphones that don't support it, such as the Quiet Mini. Unfortunately, you don't have any EQ options to play around with the Nano, which is a shame because not all ears are created equally, but hey, they cost $49 and they sound good out of the box. From my experience, the battery life claims are roughly accurate. I get around 5 to 6 hours of listening time from a single charge of the earbuds, and the charging case can charge up the buds around 2.5 times. On the case, you see 4 lights indicating the battery level, 25% for each light. The case can be charged over USB-C or with a wireless charging pad. The conclusion here is that the PaMu Nano is a well thought out, attractive product with a surprisingly good user experience, especially for the price you pay. Sound quality is also perfectly fine, and it really shows that you no longer have to empty your wallet just to get a decent pair of wireless earbuds. Now, I do think noise cancelling is an important feature, and if you think so too, you should check out the Quiet Mini. But the Nano does a pretty good job of blocking out sounds passively as well. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like as it helps the channel to grow. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.